Right now, I want to
As
see
well-
where our runners are actually going to take off.
As well as the link to the randomizer itself.
Can't forget about the randomizer. Alright, our runners are taking off. We already saw that Iceland was the first one. Now, do you know why our runners are trying to take this pipe?
Well, I believe that's because all the pipe exits are randomized.
That is correct. However, in this case, it looked like vanilla pipes, so they're not going to be useful. And oh, this is bad. 6-5 is the starting stage. You have to have a tail to get out of here. Fortunately, the room that all of our runners are in, it's always guaranteed to have a tail. You just have to re-enter it until you get the mushroom, then get the tail, and then you have to fly up.
Oh, that's a rough start.
At least it was an angry sun at the start and not Boss Bass. So, right now, our runners have it easy.
Wait, Boss Bass?
Boss Bass can be in 6-5. I've seen it numerous times. It was the angry sun today, so our runners get to take things easy. They didn't even need to bring a shell up. They just needed to get through the bricks, and thus they are done. Claris is hoping to take out the Fire Bro, gets a power-up in exchange, and we have split directions. Ibuba has gone to encounter... Some say this is the 3-5 loss level, some say 7-3, but the other runners are going into 4-5, which, well, there's that Boss Bass. And Gary and Old Wolf learns Boss Bass's favorite saying, "Get in my belly!"
Chomp.
Exactly. Ibuba has already gotten ahead. This looks like the second fortress of World 4. Ooh! Hotfoot's in a bad position, manages to dodge, has to be careful of the Boo Diddly, and Boom Boom should be easy pickings.
Well, yeah, if you've got Fire Flower, Boom Boom is pretty easy.
The tricky part is getting to Boom Boom with Fire Flower this time. Alright, 6-4 today is 2-5, Chain Chomp Paradise. I think Chain Chomps are one of the only enemies that aren't really randomized right now, at least the chain varieties.
Well, it'd be hard to do that.
Admittedly, fair point.
I kind of like the Chain Chomps. Well, unless you're talking about the ones in Link to the Past.
Fortunately, we're not dealing with Turtle Rock here. Instead, we have another split path. Oh, Garion takes Death to the Venus Fire Trap. Looks like Ibuba has entered... I want to say this is 3-9 Beta, despite the lack of water. But fortunately, it's an easy one to deal with. And what... Did Garion get a game over or reset? Because we're seeing 6-5 again.
Looks like he might have. He might have gotten a game over.
Claris has taken the other path, I believe, and that is 6-8. And now, Ibuba 7 has the end card game. But it did not match too much. And thank you to our restreamer Yoneman, along with Mew Mew Fan, we have confirmation there was a game over on Garion's side. Never a good feeling to start the race.
Well, better to have it happen right away than to get through a lot of stages and have it happen then.
Admittedly, very valid point. Alright, Ibuba
And a Tanuki suit on Claris's side.
Oh, I had missed that. Nice find. Ibuba 7 now in 2-1, the Mortar Mirage Motorway, as I call it. Not a lot of mortars, but instead we have a free-range chain chomp here.
We also get a herbaceous meteor up in the upper left picks up a hammer from the from his hammer brother. Hammer's very useful. They can not only break rocks in the randomizer, they also will break locked doors. Unless that's changed in the most recent version of the randomizer.
That is a flag that we do have turned on for the purposes of this run. So hammers still break rocks and locks. They cannot build bridges, but we'll get Fix-It Felix in here eventually. Next fortress. Ooh, the Dark Door Maze.
That is a tough, tough fortress.
But fortunately, Ibuba seems to have a good path through. Herbaceous Meteor going through 2-1. Garion trying to get through 2-5 and gets the 5-up fireworks. Nice.
You know, I will say I have never actually completed Super Mario Bros. 3.
No shame in that. It is kind of a long game, and our runners do have to go through this warpless, after all. There are no warp whistles. Any place where a runner could theoretically get a warp whistle, it is replaced with a different item. And speaking of different stages, Ibuba 7 has entered a hand trap stage, technically the Putaboo Place one. Gets a hammer suit out of this. All of the hand stages, if we encounter them, will offer hammer suits at the end, so that's very powerful. Split path again.
Oh my. And that is 1-4, I think? No.
3-6, actually. It is admittedly, both of them are auto-scrollers, but we only have 2 auto-scrollers left in the entire game right now. Now, Ibuba chose the top path. Some of our runners may want the bottom path. You know, it's kind of personal preference.
And Garion picks up his Tanuki suit.
Alright, we have a number of fans in chat that like seeing the military power of Bowser. This is the Super Tank stage that Ibuba 7 has just, well, tanked out, basically. So how about that airship?
Ibuba runs through and says, tanks for the memories.
TGE would be proud of you. Anyway, World 5 airship for World 6. And we have Lemmy Koopas. Some call him hip, but I wouldn't call him so hip for launching all those balls at us. Fortunately, a couple of stomps on the noggin, and there you go. World 6 down. In the meantime, Claris is trying to match some more on the end spade. Herbaceous Meteor also takes the top path, and Garion is trying to get through the Mortar Motorway. Trying, but the Venus Fire Trap says no, has to redo it. And, oh, sorry Herbaceous, pausing won't save you on that jump. World 4 is the next world for our runners. Ibuba 7 has found the pipe that would take them to the first stage, but instead is choosing to retreat. Does Ibuba 7 have a hammer on hand to potentially skip half of this world?
I don't know if Ibuba picked up the hammer, but I know there was a hammer available in the last world.
Alright, Claris is about to catch up, and Ibuba is going through that other pipe. Does have a hammer, so 3 stages are skipped. And thus, here's the water door maze. Relatively simple, just go through the 6th door, climb up the stairs, take out Boom Boom. And now, I don't know of many runners that like, I want to say this is 5-6 on Ibuba's side. This is a stage that used to be an auto-scroller, and I think some would prefer if it was still an auto-scroller because of those red flying beetles.
Oh, Buzzy Beetles.
Para-Buzzy Beetles.
Yeah.
And thank you, Proa 007, for confirming that is 5-6. Oh, Gary and Old Wolf messed up the P-switch, has to take the long way around to reset it. Can't get a power-up there, and thus gets sandwiched into the Rotodisc. Ibuba now in 5-7, taking the bottom path through Giant Land. But not the bottom path through this stage, that is a long one.
Now, are there any... Now, is the bottom to top in Skyworld, the part that goes... I don't remember what you call it. The part that transitions between the ground and the sky in Skyworld.
That is the tower. That is one of the few non-randomized stages in this game. Our runners will encounter it no matter what. They will also encounter, no matter what, the Ice Fortress, because this is a fortress that builds a bridge to the airship in World 4. Alright, Claris gets a Starman from the Hammer Bros. Now, will we see a divergence? Maybe? Not. Here's 5-7 again. And, Garion messed up the quick door, but fortunately has another P-switch available. World 2 airship now, as Herbaceous Meteor finally gets out of World 6. Alright, we've already seen Lemmy, aka Hip, so here is Iggy, aka Hop. So called because he normally hops very high, at least in the vanilla game. In this case, the only way that Iggy is going up high is by taking 3 hits to the head. World 4 down for Ibuba.
That was quick.
And... oh, that's a new quote from the king. Can't say I'm familiar with Movie Phone, but... perhaps we can look that up later. Princess Peach will award, looks like a frog suit, as we enter the World 7. World 7 is tricky, and yeah, you saw it right there. Care to explain to the newer viewers?
All the pipe mazes.
It's not
all
just...
the pipe mazes.
it's not just that. It's the fact that, I mean, that first pipe that was taken, you have to beat 2 stages in order to get another pipe. Garion is right now flying through the super tanks. Claris is hoping to take out Iggy. And Ibuba is entering 7-1, which is, well, we're close. It's just 7-2. 7-2 is nasty because of that pit right there that Ibuba just floated over. If you fall in that pit, you have to build an invisible note bridge to get across.
And it's not easy. Well, it's not that it's not easy, it just takes a lot of time. It's a lot of time loss if you do.
Alright, Ibuba is taking this pipe. Where will it lead? Well, we're trapped on the island anyway, so it's a matter of which stage do you want. In this case, we are taking the desert run.
Oh, see, I would have done the other one. I would have taken the other one because it got you a mushroom house as well.
I'm not sure... Oh, I think I see what you mean, but remember, a lot of runners, if they see that they launch into that big island, they had started on the other pipe, so...
And Claris falls down into that pit that we were talking about.
As Ibuba has now entered 3-3. So the issue here, and maybe I wasn't clear, but I'll try to clarify for the folks at home. When you first enter World 7, you have one pipe. In this case, the pipe on the right, without going through 7-1, took you to that big island, but on the left side, you did not have a Toad House there. And in this case... Oh. Well... We have to suffer through the big island, but that's the only place we have to suffer, so this is otherwise relatively quick. Here's 1-6, folks. Now, Garion apparently did not have a hammer, or chose not to use it, and is going through the 3 stages in Giant Land that were skipped. In this case, this is the 7-1 beta level. Either that or leftover bonus that was turned into a stage. Hard to tell. Oh no. DM Stewart, do you recognize this stage that Ibuba 7 just took a death in?
Oh. Oh, no.
Yeah, that is one of the 2 auto-scrollers left. I don't know if it's 6-9 beta or not, but it's basically, welcome to Atlantis, here is your tour, do not put any of your limbs outside of the vehicle at any time.
That's a rough one. And Ibuba and Sky Fort.
Done with Skyford. Gary and Old Wolf in 6-1. Currently doing well with it. There we go. Easy peasy.
Herbaceous finishes off Ice Fort.
And on your right, you will see a boss bass in its unnatural habitat of the pyramids. Garion choosing to temporarily cleanse himself and just stop by a Toad House.
And I do not recognize this airship that Ibuba is on.
That is the World 4 airship. But because we're in World 7, we're going to encounter Ludwig von Koopa, who has suddenly gained Michael Jordan's shoes. However, none of Michael Jordan's stamina. Bye-bye. Claris is also skipping the swim through Atlantis. Garion trying to finish up this pyramid stage. Boss Bass is in pursuit. Fortunately, too low to cause a problem. Three worlds down, 5 left. World 2 is next. However, we're able to skip 3 stages with that hammer that Ibuba just used.
So nice to see those hammers get used properly.
Thus, we miss a fortress, at least on Ibuba's side, as we go through 5-8 a little earlier than expected. Fortunately, didn't cause too many problems here.
And wait, that was a Kuribo's shoe.
Yes! Unfortunately, there was no way to knock the Goomba out of the shoe, but I don't know if you would want to ride in that shoe in this level anyway.
No valid point.
3-1 is next. While it is a water level, it's a relatively quick one, especially since unlike in Mario 1, you can actually jump out of the water and take this nice shortcut.
Well, we all hate water levels. Not as much as I hate ice levels, though.
Okay, not all water levels are bad, though that may depend on the game. Speaking of water levels, here's 3-2 for ya.
The level that actually has the first appearance of Boss Bass in the original game.
I think you're thinking of 3-3, actually.
Oh, I thought 3-2 had the Boss Bass in it.
Not to my knowledge. 3-3 is what Herbaceous Meteor is taking on right now. That level had Boss Bass.
It's been too many years.
Now, what will the pyramids at? DM Stewart, you have cursed this run. It's another water level. In this case, 3-5, I believe.
And thank you to Mew Mew Fan for correcting me. It is 3-3, not 3-2, where Boss Bass made a first appearance. Hey, this is one of the original. This level in the original game is the reason you have a frog suit.
Which level are you talking about?
The one that Ibuba just completed.
Okay, I got mixed up because Herbaceous actually equipped the frog suit and it didn't work out.
The level with the water level with all of the electrified jellyfish.
Gotcha. Also, looks like Garion went the other way. That is 6-4, so that's another one we can knock off the list. Ibuba taking out Morton Koopa Jr., otherwise known as Big Mouth. Taking a lot of hits this time, but fortunately, Big Mouth will say no more. Four worlds down. Garion stocking up.
Four down, 4 to go.
Picks up a hammer suit. That'll certainly help later.
Halt, for the hour of the hammer is upon us.
Is that more appropriate to say with the hammer or the hammer suit?
I would say the hammer suit, and it's World 5 next.
But the starting stage, oh, here's one that a number of runners don't like to deal with. 6-6. Reason why? You're seeing it on Ibuba's side right now. Underground and underwater.
And ice. It's everything. It's everything we want to hate.
I don't remember this level having ice physics in the underground portion, and the above ground portion isn't that bad really. Now, unlike on Gary and Old Wolf's side, dealing with ice physics and roto discs, yeah, that's not a good combination. I'll give you that.
Yeah, roto discs by themselves are not fun.
Whoa!
And Ibooba dodges the boss bass.
How? It's like they clip through each other. Seriously, I need a replay feature now.
And Ibooba is in the pyramid, it looks like.
Actually, this is 1.5 beta.
Oh.
We had the initial slope to the double doors, and this exit slope should look mostly familiar. Just a slight layout difference.
Okay. It looked like the pyramid with the buzzy beetles and... Meanwhile, Claris going through 6-6.
And Ibooba has found...
Takes his... Ibooba puts the frog suit on, but finds the Hammer Brother hand level.
So we're going to get a hammer suit at the end of it.
And the hour of the hammer is upon us again.
How many hours can this hammer have? Gary and
picks up a Ibooba picks up a Starman from the Hammer Brother.
Garion has entered World 7, and Herbaceous Meteor actually defeated a Koopa Kid with the frog suit, so enjoy this message, folks. It doesn't show up often. In the meantime, Ibooba has entered the tower. This is one of the few levels on the overworld map that is not randomized, but it can still be a pain with the randomized enemies. Ooh, and Garion gets caught under the note bridge.
And Ibooba finds his way up into the clouds.
But no more hammers, so... Ooh. 6-9. There is a potential for a shortcut right at the start. Only attempted it once, though. My understanding is it's pixel perfect and some other type of perfect thing needed. It was explained better in the Games Done Quick Mario 3 race.
And Herbaceous is picking up a fire flower.
Garion going through the hot desert. Claris is about to wrap up 1.5 beta. Ooh, watch out for the piranha plant! There we go. Ooh, Garion takes a death in the desert, while Ibooba has entered 5-3. This is the original home to the Karibo shoe.
And it is, if I recall correctly, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it is the only level in the game that is designed to go both left and... that is designed for you to go both left and right.
Technically, hard to say. 3-9 in the original game. Oh, hold on. Fire Brother got Claris. So 3-9 in the original game, you could go right, take the pipe, then swim back left to get, I believe it was a frog suit. Oh, Garion has now run into a fish. Shoutouts to Skybills. So Garion Oldwolf is going to... Whoop!
And Ibuba becomes lunch.
From one fish to another. That was 4-6, folks. And immediately using a hammer suit. I would... This stage I call... magic mirror or something else like that. I would consider entering one of those two doors to reset the enemies so that you don't have to worry about boss bass. Just like that.
Now, with them getting the hammer suits from all the levels, from the hand levels, do you think our runners are going to keep a hammer suit for the final castle?
That's almost guaranteed. Our runners will always attempt to keep one hammer suit available for the coup de grace against Bowser Koopa. Also, we just went flying through the ground fortress of Skyland. Ibu was just hoping to get one hammer to land. There we go. Now Garion has learned the bad news. Debating whether to take the intentional death, and in this case, he is. In the meantime, 5-8 for Ibuba is 6-7.
Not a fun level.
Honestly, with the auto-scroller, it kind of is, especially if you can maintain a fire flower through the end, because that way you could get all the coins and get the white ship, the White House. Also,
yeah.
Hi there, floating boss bass. We don't care about you this time.
Herbaceous Meteor gets in through that airship, and we'll be moving on to the next level.
6-3 is what's guarding the World 5 end. We don't know which airship it's going to be yet. Claris is also missing a hammer, taking the long way around.
All that's left is World 1 and World 3 for the for what will be next.
Yep, one of those two, then the other, and then we always finish with World 8. That is intentional. That world order will not be randomized. I don't know how the game would work if World 8 ever came second, for instance. Uh-oh, the boss bass from the top part of 5-3 has followed Claris. That's not a good thing. Also, apparently, Roy Koopa, aka Bully Koopa, did not have a lot of health, because that seemed like a quick death.
Ads by Google. Would you like to buy a hammer suit?
No thank you, I have plenty.
And it is World 3, which means World 1 will be World 7.
Alright, in this case we don't have the quick pipe, but Ibuba is choosing to go through this path. In this case, we're starting with 4-4. And Claris has entered another lost level. I don't know what path they took. And according to chat, was there a boss bass death that we missed? Garion is trying to get up to the top for 3-5. That's not gonna work. Ibuba going through 5-4. Easy. Ah, thank you, Mew Mew fan. Okay. Claris took the other path. That explains that.
And Claris got swallowed.
Alright, Ibuba is now in First Fortress of World 4, hoping to finish this up quickly, choosing to take the lower path. Not necessarily a bad idea, gets a chance to recharge with a power-up here.
Well, picking up a power-up, especially as you come into a Boom Boom fight, is not a bad idea. If you're enjoying this race, give these runners a follow.
And we have the knowledge on which pipe we need. In this case, just beat the first fortress, head all the way down, head right, and there you go. Welcome to the World 7 airship. Herbaceous Meteor decides to say hello to a blooper instead. So let's just...
Claris misjumps and falls off the bottom.
Yeah, so Herbaceous Meteor decided, this is a decent stage to use a P-Wing, you don't have to worry about swimming through. Ooh, Wendy is able to cause earthquake powers, but only can take 2 hits, so bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Man, the Cheep Cheeps love Gary and Old Wolf tonight. That's not a good feeling. Choosing to use the star to hopefully get past this section, but there's still more Cheep Cheeps to come. Or we have another...
Or piranha plants.
Yeah, that's another running theme. Ibuba still has a hammer and is skipping 3 stages in World 1, and so... Welcome to 5-7 beta, I believe. Maybe 5-4 beta. It's basically just run through the sky, watch out for obstacles, go through the half-broken pipe, and there you go. So, of course, the next stage is going to be 1-1. With Boss Bass, because, of course.
With Boss Bass, because Boss Bass. Gulp.
Speedrunner, my favorite. Sorry. Boss Bass has certainly been representing himself well tonight here, folks.
Yeah, Boss Bass has been eating well tonight.
Maybe a little too well. We need to get him on a diet. Apparently same for those Venus fire traps, because they keep on taking out Garion.
And Ibuba picks up a cloud, which could be very useful come World 8.
That'll depend on the path that we have to take through World 8, because there are not a lot of stages where you can use that cloud.
Yes, but we haven't seen a World 8 stage yet. We've only seen a Koopa tanks and and 2 of the hand stages. We haven't seen a 8-1 or an 8-2.
You misunderstand me, DM Stewart. On the map, most of the stage tiles are forced encounters. You can't use the Lakitu Cloud to skip them. Garion wishes he had a cloud right now to skip Boss Bass. Going through all of 6-6 only to be chomped at the end. Ouch.
And Princess Toadstool gives a hammer suit to go into World 8. That's going to be. Is that 1-3?
That is
On
1-3.
Ibuba? Yes, I just had to wait to see it.
So that is the only forced encounter that's going to be a normal stage, because in the vanilla game it ended with a Boomerang Brother instead of Boom Boom. So now Ibuba is hoping to go through, sees one end of the hand bridge, says no thanks. By the way, you had asked about a pyramid stage. Claris is in that now.
And Kyodishan in chat, this race has been all about that bass.
I don't know who to boo more, you for saying it or Kyodishan for typing it. Garion, with an unfortunate game over, has to redo World 5. 6-6 is not a friendly stage. Especially with the enemy sets for today.
Especially with Boss Bass at the end.
Oh, this is a quick World 8, but maybe not. This is perhaps the worst fortress of the game, guarding Bowser Koopa's castle. The Piranha Fortress, 7F2. Fortunately, our runners have...
We do have a winner. We do have a winner in the race. Fonzoid won. Duns with an official SRL time of 42:21.
Must have gotten a lot of those hammer suits and used them effectively, because hopefully our runners have at least 2 of them right now. As Claris goes through the Muncher run. That is 7-7. Wasn't expecting to run into that stage.
Ibuba enters Bowser's castle at 43:05.
Went for the harder clip.
And got it, too.
However, we still have to make our way to Bowser Koopa and launch those hammers successfully.
Well, he got both clips.
There was technically another clip Ibuba could have made there, but chose not to. Either that or it's just not that common.
And he's into fighting. He's into the Bowser fight. And through the Bowser fight.
So all we have to do is wait for Ibuba to go through those doors and we can get the official time. Claris has found the end of World 3, but Ibuba has found the princess at the end of the game. Call it.
Ibuba is officially done with an SRL time of 43:59.
Nicely done, Ibuba 7. Let's see if we can get him in for an interview. Claris has just taken out Wendy. Garion is trying to get... through World 5 as quickly as possible. Doesn't have a lot of lives left. Already using a hammer suit. And already losing the hammer suit. Sorry for commentator's curse, folks. And oh, Lakitu managed to get Herbaceous Meteor right at the end of 4-4. That's never a good feeling.
Oh. Meanwhile, Claris.com is heading through that 5 beta. The 5 whatever beta.
Lakitu versus Herbaceous Meteor round 2. Chose to trade blows. Lakitu is still up. Unfortunately, Mario never has priority unless it's an actual stomp. Oh no, Gary and Old Wolf has 1 life left. Choosing to go for the hammer, hoping for an item to at least continue on. I would consider going into the fortress to try to save that position, so that you don't have to go through those stages again. But Garion is going through Hammer Brother Bridge once again.
And picks up a 1-up.
Well, that's excellent timing. Speaking of timing, Paradox64 has finished in 3rd place with an official SRL time of 46 minutes 23 seconds. And right now, I believe we have a new runner coming in.
Odin's Pack coming onto the features stream, it looks like.
However, in the commentary booth, we have Ibuba7. GG!
Hello, thank you.
GG to you.
Thank you very much.
So, sorry that Boss Bass was a little hungry tonight.
Yeah, that was bad luck completely. But actually, this was a PB for me in any random run I have ever done. So I'm happy with this result.
Serious congratulations to you.
Much.
Yeah, sub 45 is not easy by any means. So, what besides Boss Bass, because we all know that Boss Bass isn't that great, what were your thoughts on the rest of the seed?
I don't know, it wasn't the easiest seed ever, but by the fact that there were very few hammers, I think it was not that bad seed. No, I don't think there were any major problems with this.
The hammer suits from the hand levels were a big help, I'm sure.
Well, I used one when I hadn't any other power-ups, and I had an extra one for Bowser, so yeah, they were very helpful. I like this seed, I like this run. I feel happy. Fun side won, right? I think.
Yes, Fonzoid 1 did win the race. But you ended up second, so...
So I think my first second place ever, so... Yeah, it was a good race.
Right now, Odin's Pack is heading into Bowser's Castle. Claris is going through the Desert Fortress. I didn't catch where this was on the map. Herbaceous Meteor going through the Sky Beta, and Gary and Old Wolf in 5-3 hopefully will not encounter Boss Bass.
That was Koopa Air Force.
Air Force had the Desert Fortress. Got it.
Yes, Desert Fortress was Koopa Air Force.
Alright, we may have another finisher soon. It's not going to be Boss Bass, hopefully. Herbaceous Meteor's had enough of that. Odin's Pack versus King Bowser Koopa. I would have said...
Odin's Pack makes quick work of Bowser.
I was about to say fight, but the fight was already over.
Odin's Pack making his way, gets through the door, done with an official SRL time of 50 minutes 38 seconds.
Claris is right now going through the Piranha Fortress. Has to be careful, because this is never a friendly one. And it looks like we're gonna have another runner brought in.
So if you've enjoyed this race, you should give all of these runners a follow, because they've been doing great things for your enjoyment.
Alright, right now we're trying to get Buster B's feed up. I will say on the private stream, we did see another Boss Bass kill in 4-2. Probably the one stage where I felt Boss Bass should have been in the vanilla game.
No, I will disagree with you there. There is no stage that should have a Boss Bass in it.
While I completely understand the sentiment, I'm thinking about from a developer standpoint. Oh, and speaking of...
And Herbaceous Meteor picks up a 5-up star fireworks, which he needed.
So speaking of back to my part, 4-1 has a Boss Bass. Buster B is immediately using the hammer suit, hoping to avoid problems. And Claris is now in Bowser Koopa's castle, hoping to wrap up this fish of a seed.
It's the wrong time of year for this seed. This seed should be happening during Lent.
I don't keep up with the, and all the different religious calendars, but any time is a good time to eat fish, honestly. You just don't want the fish to eat you.
And Claris makes quick work of Bowser.
So get your GGs out in chat, as Claris.com needs to go through the door, and then... There we go!
Claris is has an official SRL time of 53:53.
And Garion is still going through 6-7, it looks like. Buster B has found the correct path to get out of Waterland. And Herbaceous Meteor versus Boom Boom. Easy pickings.
A flying Boss Bass.
Boss Bass or Boom Boom?
No, flying Boss Bass in the level that Garion just finished up.
Unfortunately, I had missed it. I was focused on Herbaceous' side. As entered, the Piranha Fortress has to redo. Has some hammers left, but that P-Wing looks interesting, and I agree with this decision.
And welcome, Claris. GG to you.
GG.
Welcome to the
how
commentary
did-
booth. What do you think?
Well, the first half of it was nice, and then I got to 5, and then everything started to fall apart. But yeah, what can you say?
I can say Boss Bass loved you.
I think I might have died in every stage one time. I might have made through a couple clean, but the too little too late hammer at the end there, that was the knife in the back.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, the later stages weren't friendly. Plus, you were forced to go through Fortress 2 at the end. Piranha Fort is never fun.
Yeah, that was another fun piece of just me failing at the back after that scene.
Well, let's be fair. The back half of that seed was insane, and you know what? Still a whole heck of a lot better than I would ever have any hope of doing in this.
The stage selection was, well, it was entertaining for hopefully the people out there, but it was not very pleasant for running it.
Well, hopefully our remaining runners will find it pleasant enough to finish, though considering how tricky this seed has been, I completely understand your sentiments, Claris.
And Garion in the in Koopa tanks.
That's the army stage, actually. But the army is having their way with Garion. Buster B almost gets tripped up by the half-broken pipe, but fortunately still able to fit in.
And Herbaceous Meteor heads into the Bowser fight. Makes quick work of it.
Yeah. Once you got to Bowser's Castle, things just flowed smoothly for you, right, Claris?
No, it was not bad. You were well equipped for the castle trip.
Herbaceous Meteor through the door with an official SRL time of 57:50.
Get your GGs out in chat. Right now... Ooh, boy. Gary and Old Wolf still trying to get through. Looks like in 4-2, Boss Bass is looming. Buster B going through Grassland still. Boomerang Brothers going down. In the meantime, let's see if Herbaceous Meteor wishes to speak.
Yeah, I could agree with the Kiadishan about what to call this seed. Bass gonna give it to you.
Bass just gave it to Garion. Interesting observation. Both of our remaining runners have 2 lives left. They both have to be careful.
Well, Buster B just finished clearing World 1, heads into World 8. Meanwhile, Garion into, is that 4-1?
That is 4-1. This is at least the second or third attempt here because Boss Bass has been extremely hungry. We need to make sure Boss Bass knows that these runners are not made up of Impossible Burgers.
Meanwhile, Buster B making his way through 1-3.
And Herbaceous Meteor has found their way into the commentary booth. GG.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I at least I didn't die in Bowser's Castle. Well, you know, that's something at least.
Yeah, the big issue was boss bass. Lots of boss bass.
Yeah, I believe it. I only got 8 by 1, but that one just sent me in a different direction. I believe it was in World 7. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go a different way. Did everyone else have a big problem with boss bass? Or?
Yeah. Everyone was having troubles with boss bass. Garion keeps his Starman through the Boom Boom. Finishes off the Boom Boom fight with invincibility.
Could anyone double check this for me? The card game had nothing of value, right?
I don't recall seeing anything of value in the end card game, but admittedly there was a lot of action going on that I probably missed something.
Maybe not. I mean, I felt like I did the whole card game. I didn't get a cloud or a hammer out of it, which to me, that's... Although there was a surprising amount of Hammer Brothers suits just scattered through the game in general without the end card game.
That
interesting to
that
me.
was true. The hand stages all had hammer suits. A few of the Hammer Brothers had hammer suits. I think even Peach gave a hammer suit to
Yeah,
all
she
of
did.
you. So there were plenty of them to go around this time.
Yeah, so that was kind of fun. I like that.
Yes, the hammer suits are always fun to get.
It's not something. It's not a toy you get to play with very often. So.
Buster B using a frog suit to get through World 3 Fortress 2.
Good decision. Fortunately, with that lock broken, Buster B only has to deal with 2 stages should a game over occur. The problem is, one of them is the Piranha Fort.
Oh, can I just say, if it's all right?
Go for it.
In World 3, I took the first pipe, which went to the sort of middle part of the world, and I decided to take that path to that fortress in the middle. And I knew the whole time that that was going to take me behind a lock that the first fortress unlocks in World 3. And so I had to use my hammer there.
If you knew, why did you take that path? Out of curiosity.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. When I say I knew, I meant I had a feeling that was going to happen. But it ended up not really mattering at all because suddenly Peach gave a hammer right before World 1, so it didn't matter anyway. I was so happy about that.
Freebie hammers do help, no question about it.
Yeah. I mean, what are the chances that I used my last hammer just to be able to finish World 3 and Peach was like, alright, it's okay, you can have another one and do World 1 with it. Which came just before World 8, which didn't need any hammers. Although I will say on World 8, for some reason I did what would normally be the Air Fortress, or not Air Fortress, the Air Force. Just for some reason I thought I should. And then I went and did what would normally be the Navy and realized, oh, okay, well, that was just a pointless waste of time that I did that. But, you know, for fun.
Fortunately, you recovered quickly enough, so no shame in that.
Yeah. I'm okay with 6th. I'm pretty bad at this game, so I'm happy.
Buster B working his way through Piranha Fortress.
For the second time, there was an unfortunate death early on. Trying to get through this gap has to go small, though.
Oh, 7 Fortress 2, I take it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just... No one wants to see that fortress, especially that late in the game.
Yeah, I just busted out a P-Wing for that one, I gotta be honest.
Nothing wrong with that. Buster B into Bowser's Castle.
Oh, excellent.
and Gary and Old Wolf trying to get through the ice airship in order to catch up to Darkland.
Well, I'll let you guys finish commentating the rest of this race, and I'll sit back and listen. So, you guys have a good one. Thank you for inviting me in.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, have a good one, you guys, and everybody out there.
Alright, Buster B is approaching Bowser Koopa.
And
has to
Gary,
let-
Buster
Go
B
ahead.
into the Bowser fight. Gary and Old Wolf clears the airship, heads into Darkland. Buster B makes quick work of Bowser.
Just have to wait for Buster B to go into the door.
Buster B is done with an official SRL time of 1:05:58.
And with that, I do believe Gary and Old Wolf is the final runner for tonight.
I believe you're right.
Garion going through the back. Wait, how did Garion take damage like that? I thought he landed on the Troopa.
That I don't know. I'm not sure how the layering works there.
Background, foreground shenanigans. I'm sure it has
Here.
something to do with that.
Garion just nopes right out of the hand bridge.
So going to swim through this fortress instead. We know it's the right choice in the end. No one wants to have to go through Handbridge. No one. Just have to watch out for Stretch over here. There we go.
Makes quick work of that boom boom.
So this means 2 stages left. And we all know what's up next. Hopefully Garion realizes it. Realized it a little too late. And is trying the frog suit? I don't think it works like that.
But I get what he was wanting. He was wanting to have the extra hits. But unfortunately, the frog suit plays with your jumping enough that the extra hits won't help so much.
Last life, possibly again. And the hot foot gets him. Now, as we stated, the overworld encounters are gone. So Garion can just head right back in. However, all the items that were spent are gone. So 7F2 may be Garion's final stage here. Just has to play it carefully. Now, fortunately, that 1-up block is going to stay a 1-up block all throughout this run, so...
Well, and Garion has 3 hammer suits, so he can afford to use 2 of them here.
Just used one of them now, hoping for the best. There goes one. Trying to bait the thwomp. There we go.
And that's the part that he had been having the trouble with, was baiting that thwomp out.
Also gets through the twin piranhas. Hoping to get a power-up. Gets a Starman. Not necessarily a bad thing at this point. Just needs to get through. Has to guide the boot diddly out first, though.
Now he's just got to get through the rotodiscs.
And squish. Hammer suit number 2 is out. Unfortunately, hammer suit is not lava-proof, folks. And the piranha plant is immediately trying to bite Mario up. 2 lives left. Once again, that 1-up will guarantee at least another extra shot here, but has to do this entire thing small right now.
I believe in him.
That was not the best time to say that, DM Stewart.
This seed has been very unkind to Garion.
Oh, slipped while trying to get the 1-up mushroom. And is going for the frog suit again. But slips off the pipe. If you were in Garion's position, would you use that final hammer suit? Alright, Garion is trying to take this carefully. 1 slip up means back to the start. Mew Mew fan asks in chat, did anyone else game over? Not on screen from what I can tell. Remember that we started with 4 runners. We did cycle some of them in as early runners had finished, but if they had game overed before we brought them in, we don't know.
Garion having a little bit of difficulty baiting out the thwomp.
Yeah, these piranha plants and thwomp positions, they're just... Go ahead.
Seven Fortress 2 is just terrible.
This level has ended runners before. Will Garion persevere and get through? Or will his name be on the list of the Piranha Plants Hall of Fame? The thing to remember, folks, as long as Garion keeps on getting that 1-up mushroom, he theoretically has infinite chances. So he does have plenty of time to learn the patterns. However, I'm pretty sure Garion wants to end this seed as quickly as possible. Oh! Missed the fireball from the tunnel pipe. Thought about using an item, says no. DM Stewart, do you think Garion is possibly on tilt right now?
I think that's a distinct possibility. I probably would be at this point.
Well, Herbaceous Meteor agrees with you in chat. The more you have to play this stage, especially in a single sitting, the worse you may potentially do. Because you have to make so many precise jumps. And you have to watch out for all of the fireball patterns like that. No!
There was no way he was getting out of that.
Yeah, I confirmed on my unofficial replay system. That was nearly impossible. Garion has 1 extra life left. Make that 0! Garion, please be careful. We want you to get through this. Alright, gets the 1 up. There's another shot. First swamp successful. Now for the tunnel. Clears it. Gets to the star block. Oh, gets the star just in time and is able to make it to the final tunnel.
Yes, now he just has to deal with the Boo Diddley and the Rotodiscs.
And the Hotfoot, don't forget that!
Oh yeah, and the Hotfoot.
No! Jumped into the swamp! And is so on tilt. Where's Garion going? There are no more end cards in the game. There's no more toad houses. I don't know if we've seen the third hand stage.
Desert Fortress. No, we haven't seen the third hand stage.
But runs into a dry bones instead. I'm not sure I follow the routing decisions that Garion is making here.
Looks like he's betting on... It looks like he is betting on the third hand stage to be in a vanilla location.
I mean, either that or there is another stage where Garion can get an item. 5-1. I have not seen 5-1 on any of the runner's screens, but in order to get that one, you need a tail in order to fly to a high pipe. Gets a power-up from... Nope, it's a 1-up mushroom from the Desert Fortress. So, no way to start big in the Piranha Fort. Oh, slips on the spikes when they landed. And Garion says enough is enough. Not going to go any further. Just going to go through this. Hopefully. Apparently, even in desperation such as this, no one wants to go through Hand Bridge if they can avoid it. Come on, Garion.
Gets the thwomp bait correctly.
Gets through the tunnel sequence. Uh-oh, bad positioning. Managed to trick the Venus fire trap. Has the star and is able to get to the tunnel. Boo is out of the way. Hotfoot is causing problems. Gets past the thwomp. Just has to take out Boom Boom. 1, 2, 3! Garion has access to Bowser Koopa's castle.
And puts in the hammer suit.
And loses the hammer suit to a laser! Well, for those of you at home that want to know how to actually take out Bowser Koopa without the hammer suit, here's your chance to learn. But first, we have to actually get there. Garion taking the top path regardless. There is a power-up on the bottom path, but choosing to stick with what he knows. Alright. DM Stewart, do you wish to explain how Bowser Koopa works when you don't have a projectile?
When you don't have a projectile, he will jump around. He'll jump around, and basically, he will, when he lands on the bricks in the floor, he will break one row of bricks. So what you do is you let him break through the bricks in the middle until he breaks all the way through the floor.
Garion Oldwolf is going through a textbook demonstration, takes a fireball to the face, but it does not matter. Bowser has fallen down. With that, get your GGs in chat, folks. Garion Oldwolf, last place in the race, first place in our hearts, with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, 58 seconds. Let's see if Garion wishes to rant about this seed.
Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you, Garion. GG, and sorry about everything regarding this seed.
Thank you. It was a little bit annoying there at the end. It wasn't too bad till I got to that last ship.
Boss Bass everywhere, and then 7 Fortress 2 at the end.
Yeah, that level, I'm used to getting that star where that one up was, so it took me a few hundred tries to get it, I think.
What I'm curious about the most is actually your decision to try the frog suit on that fortress.
The first time, I was thinking, let me try something to have a power-up, and the second time was a case I forgot that I couldn't make the jump with it.
I honestly wonder if the jump is possible, but if it is, it's very precise and not the easiest thing in the world.
Yeah, if it's possible, it's a very tough jump, and I couldn't manage to do it with the couple tries I made.
So let's at least go back to some earlier speculation. You were getting frustrated with 7F2, and so you actually went in the direction of the hand bridge. We saw you get the power up in the Desert Fortress, saw it was a 1-up, and just chose to leave. What made you decide to leave instead of going on through hand bridge in hopes of a better power up?
I only went to that one hoping to get some kind of power up to give me a chance to actually make it through the other one. And when it was a 1-up, I'm like, no point going through the rest of these.
That is fair. So, do you have any other final thoughts?
Nah, I don't have any more thoughts on it other than GG to the other runners. I know they're all gone already, but... And thanks to everybody for the restream and commentary.
Well, thank you for the run.
Please give it up for all of our runners for this very intense matchup. And please do not forget to follow our restreamer Yoni Man along with my commentary partner DM Stewart.
And don't forget to give Wolfman 2000 a follow. He's done a great job.
Yeah, with how this seed has gone, I mean, my normal closing statement would be kind of redundant, so Garion, let me just go through administrative stuff and then you can end this broadcast today. For those that are interested in other randomizer events, tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern on Randomania, we will have the Legend of Zelda Randomizer Battle Royale. I don't remember which Battle Royale it is, but I believe it's the finals of one of the events.
Boomstick.
Boomstick Fun Part 2, that's it. So that should be a good one. Monday, 9:30 p.m., most likely Randomania at this point, but we don't know yet. The Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise Weekly Race. We will announce more events as they come closer. And with that in mind, you know my normal saying, Garion, close us out today.
Sure you don't want your broadcast partner to close it out?
I don't care who closes it out.
Here's wishing all of you fun, good randomizers, and a favorable RNG. This is on behalf of Wolfman 2000. This is DM Stewart 1981 signing off.